Hi, folks. How we doing? It's Godin with my dog this time. I wasn't sure if I was gonna bring him, but he wanted to come back. He's just so cute. He just loves being cuddled, and he just adds such a compliment to the video. So, if I start talking really boring, then you get to see the dog. So it all works together. So, um, I'm here right now. November 13th, I believe. Yep, 2020, and this video is on forgiveness, um, and others. And so, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna say that forgiveness is such an underrated part of our psyche that um, if we hold on to things that have been done to us and we harbor that pain, that grief, that sorrow within us, then over time it manifests as negative health problems. If we're constantly internalizing all those negative events that happen to us, and it's become stuck in our unconscious or psyche, then that manifests our entire behavior and everything that we do in a subtle, implicit way. But everything we do. So to harbor resentment or anger towards someone, it literally is deleterious to your health. That if there are people are in your head that your heart, you get heart issues. That people who have a broken heart syndrome live shorter, and likewise, people that are really stressed, they may die of stress related, heart related, long term related injuries. So stress is no joke, and holding on to anger is no joke. That it really is such a serious thing to hold that in, and what that does to your whole being, it like envelops you, it like traps you, it zaps all the good out of you because it just holds that blockage that's throwing everything together because everything works together, but every piece is equal to some of its parts at the same time. So one little thing is different, then everything's different. So if you have a nucleus, you have all these electrons going around, even though the valence shell, the nucleus, or the particulate, the electron, right? The electron, the valence shell, even if it moves a little bit, it affects the whole composition of the whole. Kind of much like astrology, where there's the sun and there's the earth and everything's spinning around and always be unique, but it all comes together and it all connects. So in terms of forgiveness, that it's just so important to let go. That so we can get this dog in the frame. That letting go is huge. That we can't live in our past. That if we live in our past, that we can't live in our present. And a lot of times people say that it's a cliche, but it's just a general reminder that if we ruminate and we get stuck in the past, we lose sight of like what is important, our long term future goals, and to live in the present. It's so important to live in the present because you're not living in the present, you're not living at all. So you got to remember to take care of yourself and to just let go of that anger, let go of that fear, and let go of all that resentment involved with those who hurt you. Because as much as they hurt you, you must realize that they're only human, and humans are meant to make mistakes. You know what I mean? So human beings are designed to be imperfect, just like my hair is imperfect right now. And so you can't you can't judge someone for their humanity. Basically, that we're all human beings. We're meant here to be imperfect. We're meant here to make mistakes. That's why we're here to spiritually evolve, make those right decisions. So it's perfectly normal to make mistakes. Making mistakes is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just nothing that let us hold us back. And anyone that hurts us can't let us hold us back. Our heart, our soul, we can't. When we hold on to that, it adds toxicities to our entire system. So let's say that you have like these electrons and going around, right? And there's every electron changes the entire composition of the whole, even every individual one based on the location of it around the nucleus. So it's the same thing that it's everything is unique. Everything is a unique composition, and if one thing is off, it affects the whole. So it's just even holding on to something like anger just like affects our whole system, our body. And it literally makes us live shorter. And it's so my one of my biggest things I do when I'm with clients, and I hope this video isn't too boring. If it is too boring, keep watching. About to speed it up. It's about to get spicy. So get ready for the good part. So and it's coming soon. So anyway, so if I'm talking about forgiveness, that a lot of people have issues forgiving themselves, because self forgiveness is so huge that some people go through their lives feeling guilty, over nothing, like over nothing. Like it seems meaningful, but really it's not. And people hold this guilt and hold this anguish and this self judgment of things they've done, and they think, how could I ever forgive myself for that? How could I ever forgive myself? And so the key here is understand that we're only human. And I'll tell you a little secret, and this is something I learned, and this is something a little fairy whispered in my ear. Okay, not a fairy, but someone, and came in there and gave me a little 2 cents, so it helped me out. So here's my theorem. And so if you are able to unconditionally, and I mean unconditionally, forgive all others who've hurt you, then why would there be a reason to not forgive yourself? What I'm saying is that if you are able to unconditionally forgive every single person that wronged you, why would God judge you? Why would, if you believe in God, if your higher power, why would you be judged by the divine? Why would you be judged by that? If you're able to forgive all others, then how could you not be forgiven? Whatever your higher power of understanding, how can you not be forgiven if you're able to forgive everyone else unconditionally, no matter what, no matter how much they scammed you out of your life insurance, 250,000 policy, and they went to the jewelry store, there's no trays, and we couldn't find them, and the insurance wouldn't pay for it. There's so much that can go on, and just the forgiveness that to really know that when we forgive fully, when we unconditionally forgive, then we are forgiven by ourselves. That sometimes we have this self judgment that it's difficult to forgive ourselves, but if we can forgive everyone else, why wouldn't we be able to forgive ourselves? So the key to overcoming a self forgiveness or a lack thereof, or feeling like you're not worthy of forgiveness, is forgiving all others who've hurt you. Because, like I said, if you're able to do that, why wouldn't you be worthy of forgiveness if you're able to do that for everyone else? So that's my 2 cents on that forgiveness. And that we have to forgive with all of our hearts, and no matter how like I said, how traumatic it was, how bad it was, that realizing we're only human and having that unconditional love for humanity, knowing that we're all family, and even if you had a family member that did something that really ticked you off, that they still be family. You know what I mean? Like, I use that life insurance example. I have no idea where it came from. Like, your brother scams you, have 250 life insurance. I don't ask me how that even ends up happening, but but he's still your brother. He's still your family. So no matter who wrongs you, and I mean wrong you. I mean, someone could really pick you up and just like smash you with a sledgehammer in a million pieces, and take these million pieces and smash them with smaller pieces and incinerate them and put the ash in the Atlantic Ocean and have them become embedded with infinity, or at least until the earth collapses. So, case in point, that not to get sidetracked, that if we are forgiven, we get everything we've done is completely fine if we can forgive all else. And so, likewise, I also want to talk about the power of judging. That it's too often that people will meet right away, right? And they'll have this karmic connection, like, oh, I met you in a past life. Let's see, I get this dog in the frame. No, it doesn't work, No, sorry. But, sometimes people have this karmic connection, right? Like, they meet each other, like, oh, we met in a past life, or we met in a past life, or like lost twins, or our North Node are in the same house, or the same sun sign, we're like meant to be. It's like so cool. We're getting along, we're laughing, we're just like long lost friends, and you hang out with them, and you're like, you feel almost like you get some close friend out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, you know what? It's just like cold. Like, something happens, it's just cold, because maybe you got too close to them too fast. Maybe you revealed too much to them too fast. Maybe the connection and the chemistry brought you, maybe you were too open. And so, but it doesn't mean that you were too open, but maybe for this person, particular person, specific person, you may have been too open. You may have opened up too fast to this particular person, whereas there's other people that wouldn't judge you, and if you would reveal their life to you, they would accept you. And so acceptance and non-judgment, that we may have people in our life that we like hang out with them, and we meet, and then let's say that we hang out the first time, it's awesome, the second time, it's awesome, third time, fourth time, we have a great time, and the fifth time, you know what, Adam was acting a little weird at that time, maybe that's not the guy I want to, maybe I should hang out with this person, maybe he's just not a good person, he's lame, I mean, you can see how lame he was last time, so, and then discounting the first 4 or 5 times, you know, that that it was great, that everything was going well. So there's a lot of judgment, and there's a certain recency bias where people would have all these great times, but then the last time they see each other, that'd be like the benchmark where that would be the reference. That would be like the signified, and like you're signifying it by thinking that. Um, we can't judge. We can't shut people down before we get a chance to know people, and we have to accept people that no matter what someone goes through, that to understand that we all have our own life experiences that shape us who we are. It doesn't make us worse or bad people, or greater people. It just all it means we all have our unique talents and skills, and that we all have our unique personalities. And sometimes it takes a long time to get to know someone, and sometimes you'll never get to know someone by just seeing them a few times. So you can't judge people if you're getting to know someone by just seeing them a few times. It's like, next. Like, all right, that was good, that was good, that was good. You know what? That was a little. No, I'm just gonna block this person, ghost people, and not to mention that leads me to another little discussion that ghosting people is such a disgusting thing to do in this culture. And I'm not sure if it's become normalized millennial culture. Maybe men and women in their late 30s or so. I'm not sure, but I feel like there's this culture of if someone is just casually like in your life or just not even offending someone or just doing nothing, they can be blocked. Or let's say that there's this really tight relationship and get blocked. Now, I will say the block feature does serve a purpose. I have used the block feature many times. The block feature is a very useful tool. But I'm saying that those invested relationships where you're just ghosted and you just feel like it's this close relationship, you're just ghosted, you feel like, it's this karmic connection. It's like, we're destiny, or me, we're like in the same like team, this guy. It's like how many times that happened, and for me, it's happened a lot. And most of the times I have endured long-term friendships, but a lot of times, and too many times, I've seen with other people that it does end up that way. That people get very close too soon, and not to say that they're too soon, just too soon for the other person. And so we have to accept people that no matter what, that we realize that people are multifaceted, and it takes a while to get to know someone, and just if we see behavior, not to judge, and that if someone sincerely wants to be in our lives and they're there as a friend, how can we turn that down? That is one thing if you're constantly chasing people for a friendship, they're constantly leaving you in the dust. But if someone is offering you their friendship, if someone wants to be your friend in your life, my advice, you should let them in. You should let people give a chance to be your friend. And so that brings me to what I was going to talk about trusting, that we've all had issues in our life that's affect our ability to trust people, because trusting people is such a difficult thing to do. It really is. Because we've all had those moments where we trusted someone completely and we got devastated, and just everything fell apart and it didn't work. And so, we got backstabbed, we got betrayed in some form like that. And so over time, as we build our life experiences, we learn more and more that we can't trust people, and that also the media doesn't do any favors. The fact that they're constantly pointing to stories that would make you live, that you feel in this, make you feel like you're in the scary, dangerous world, and that at any time you might get just mugged in the streets, the baseball bat. And so the media is good at that, and it's it's a way of thinking. But I feel like people in this society have been hardwired by me again, as young as the very young. It's like it starts with don't trust strangers and just don't trust people. And I mean, yeah, obviously we shouldn't trust strangers no matter what age we are. But all I'm saying is that if someone wants to give a chance to know them, and they're offering you that friendship or getting to know them, and let's say you get a good vibe from them. It's one thing if you get this bad vibe. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, not everyone's gonna be your friend. Maybe you just don't get a friend vibe from them. I mean, that's cool too. But if someone's offering to be your friend and you feel that there is that connection, and just to allow them to be your friend and to learn to trust other people, that not everyone's out to get you. That in the media you hear all these stories of people, just whether it's manipulating or taking advantage of people, or just being controlling, or just there's stereotypes in the media that people are not trustworthy, that people do bad things, and it's a small, they take a very small sample size of the general population. The reality is, most men most men are not aggressive. It's, I mean, I guess you could say, relatively speaking, men are more aggressive, but I mean, than women. But and men, there's obviously a bad reputation for men just uh, trusting, because men are unpredictable, right? I mean, who would you rather be in an elevator with? This young, strong man in their 20s, or some woman or some dude in their 40s? Maybe he's rocking Vans shoes. He looks like maybe he was like listening to old school music in the 80s with his haircut. So, and you start talking to him, and so that's one thing, and that's one thing. But um, in terms of generations and just how it changes over time, that I feel like it's a culture of mistrust over time, and that we have to learn to trust people that more, and especially if people are offering their friendship. And so it's also just so important that those people that we did trust who let us down, to use it as motivation to improve ourselves. So self improvement is so huge that we could use those as opportunities to make ourselves better. So anything that's happened to you that's been, that's threw you off, or that somehow is, you've grew from your ashes, that something like that happened, then to self improve yourself, and that's the only option that we have. That if there's anything pain that we endure, if there's anything devastating or traumatic, then just transform that to yourself into something greater, and to use it as motivation and just be the best you can be. So life is about being the best you can be every day. So we have to put an effort. It's our responsibility as human beings to reach our potential by making an effort to be the best versions of ourselves. This song is so cute, and to be the best we can be, and we have this obligation to improve ourselves. So we have to learn to forgive all other people unconditionally, no matter what. So we can forgive ourselves, and then we always be forgiven by God, your higher power. We have to learn to accept people, because we're not going to be able to know someone's personality right away after hanging out. It takes a while to get to know someone. Some people are going to be different, but you can't not associate with someone just because they're different. You have to give people a chance to be themselves, and to get to know people. Give people a chance. Don't judge people. Don't judge people. Accept people as they are, and don't make assumptions. Just don't judge people. If someone does something that you think is one way, that is, and one person thinks the other, it's just we did this acceptance, and just just not not using that recency bias and thinking, oh well, last time and just this way, that way. So all I'm saying is that I'm just summarizing, in that we're going to trust people, and we're going to trust ourselves. That there's so much self doubt in this world that we have in life, that is even ingrained at an early age, and it's about, we're going to trust ourselves, and that we're working at improving ourselves the best we can. But the more we trust ourselves, the more we'll have faith in our abilities, the more we'll grow, the more we'll spiritually progress, and the greater we'll grow, and then we'll help others grow, and we'll inspire others to grow. So to keep learning and to keep doing everything that we're doing on this journey of an unconditional love for humanity, and seeking for enlightenment, and along this path, this journey, and we're all going on this journey together. And that so just to have that trust in yourself, and that know that have that sense of self efficacy, because you can do anything.